So our law number 3 is read between the lines. Have you ever heard this English saying, the devil is in the details? Today I'm going to make it real and affirm the devil is in the details. You can assume, but the devil doesn't. He never assumes. And since we are all human, it's important we know he never assumes. He's calculated, meticulous, and precise. He never misses, never shies away. He's non-gentleman, so he will not request. He will see a gap and swiftly fill it in. If you miss the detail, woe unto you. Nothing to do with omission. You omit with a commission. You're nubbed. And so as we discuss law number 3, read between the lines, I want to open your eyes and your mind to the fact that it is in your interest as you date, as you go out, as you reach out to get details. Nobody takes this responsibility more important than I. So it is my responsibility, and I think I want to ask you to just repeat after me. It is my responsibility.
It's my responsibility.
Check out the details.
Check out the details.
Now you can stop. You don't need to follow to repeat again. So this is very important. Why? Because many people, and I am talking from about 11 years of listening. Listening meaning counseling. And I want to give you a story that still remains epic. I don't mean that I haven't had bigger and better stories, but this story lingers in my mind. And every person's names have been preserved for issues of confidentiality. And where I can change the story, I will. But the issue is I bumped into this wonderful lady who is tops in the society. And I got to sit with her and she was sharing with me and she told me, oh, Dennis, I have been going through stuff and I don't know what to do anymore. And it was her marriage. And the marriage was in shambles and she was in an abusive relationship, despite her being a top woman in the nation. She was going through tough times in her relationship, and the husband was extremely abusive, and she was feeling like she moves out of the house, she's on top of the world. She goes into the house, she is at the bottom of the world. And she felt like slowly life is slipping through her hands. And as we shared about what's going on, I think I spotted danger at one particular time when she told me something that was happening in the bedroom. And I just told her, you know, it's time to make hard choices. And I want to invite you to the fact that separation is not a divorce. It's a temporary place whereby you need to freshen up and think and look at things from another dimension, and more so also to heal. And so that, because marriage is permanent and no doubt about it, especially when you take it before the Lord, it is permanent. So, but it's not a death sentence. We shouldn't wait for you to get into a casket so that we can tell you, hey, stop. So you can take a pause and just look at things. And note, I am a counselor, I am a life coach. I promote life. I don't promote death. I don't promote darkness and evil. I promote life. So, however legalistic things are, I will be pro-life. So I told her, you know, it's time to wake up and smell the coffee. You stay here, you're gonna die. And so she decided, you know, I don't make choices for anybody. And anyone who has come for my sessions knows that clearly, that I never make decisions for you. However desirable, or even if I have a clear-cut way of you to do things, I do not make those decisions for anybody. But we share and we talk and we lay bare the options that are on the table. And so she decided by herself that she is going to take a small leap and just, breathe in, breathe out, and look at things from another dimension. And I thank God she took that break, because we now worked on her properly, that she was able now to sustain her marriage in the future without the animosity that was going on there. But then there's one fundamental question I got to ask her while we were working on her marriage. I asked her, did it surprise you? Did the behavior of your husband surprise you? And it was a question of my dating law 3. I was asking her, what details did you miss? Or what details did you ignore? Or what details have you assumed over the years? And she stared at me, and I think she went deep into her thoughts, and she answered me a few minutes later and said, in as much as I would like to say no, the answer is I know. I always saw this. I always saw the abusive side of my husband, but I guess I was blinded by love. And over and over, and I have heard many people say that love is blind, but I tend to think it's infatuation is blind. Love sees clearly. Love does not omit. So whoever misquotes love to be blind, again, that is somebody who has ignored details. And I want to ask you, do you ignore details? You've been dating. I don't think there's anyone who's listening to me tonight who has not been dating. And if you've never dated, just say I. And at least I will know I have one person that I will take care of you. I will just change a few sentences here and there and take care of you. And I'm not seeing anyone saying I. So meaning that all of you have once in a lifetime dated. So my question is, where is your date? Where are they? Where did they sleep? Just a rhetoric question. But you get what I'm talking about. It's because you also have been into details also. So there are things you have looked at and seen, hey, this, I don't know, this is a deal breaker. I can't hack it. And in my, I'm working on a marriage workbook that has taken some years to write. And it has a few things that are not very classical. I am introducing new ideologies that I want people to realistically look at marriages with. Because I feel like as the society has gone on, people have committed some felonies in marriage over and over and over. And I don't want to imagine that 100% of all marriages are right. And 100% of all marriages have never worked were wrong. No. But I want to imagine that maybe people do not give this process the seriousness it deserves. Maybe guys don't take time to really study the persons that they're going to get into a relationship. And that's where the problem comes in, whereby if you did not study your spouse properly, means that you won't treat them right because you don't really understand them. So meaning if you get into that marriage and this person may be a good person, but you haven't done your homework and assignment properly of informing yourself about them, you will get things wrong. You'll treat them wrong. And so you'll never utilize them. And let me tell you, we are treating marriage as if it is the television that we buy. You see, when you buy a television, how many people ever go read the manual and just get an explanation of the television set? No, someone just looks for a remote, plugs in everything, and you're on. And I can only imagine how many opportunities in a television that you have missed out courtesy of never reading the manual. And most even vehicles. Did you know that vehicles have manuals? But whoever asks for it, even if you're given, you will not read. And I say, don't treat a spouse like that. Then they come with a manual, and the manual is read between the lines, meaning that as you're dating, as you're working together, as you're courting, it's your opportunity to learn and to learn as much as possible, because some people, you think of these traits. There are some like narcissistic people. Narcissistic people tend to flood people with love. They will flood you with love, but in as much as they can flood you and love you when they are on the spot with you, they fall out of love the same way. And just as they flood you and suffocate you with love, they will suffocate you with vengeance later when they are out of love, and they will kill you. And people have died, and you have seen even relationships where people are killing one another. The police forces, unfortunately, they have firearms, and Matiang'i is trying to treat a psychological disease with, I don't know how well he's gonna work on, be able to succeed on that. But by telling them not to get married, people love one another easily. Teachers get married to teachers, doctors and medics marry each other. It's because of the hang around. You hang around each other so much that you tend to, people don't usually fall in love, they grow in love. So you get fond of one another. And again, it's an issue of information. So you get informed about this person, and you get to know them, and you get fond of them. And so when you get fond of anyone, you can easily now escalate to marriages and so on. So Matiang'i's method in Kenya and the police force, that may not work. I think it's better off if we can institute psychological training for these police forces, so that people can understand that this is a relationship, not a business, that you carry your gun to the houses, and maybe even take away the guns from the houses would be a much better thing than saying they won't get married, because they will still get married. And the more he says no, the more they say yes. And so it is important that we learn to look for the lights. Now I usually tell people, it's so easy to date on a Saturday afternoon and lie, because everyone wants to bring their best foot forward. No one wants to bring their darkness on day one. But you see, if you are able to discover darkness on day one, the easier for you. I mean, that relationship is a gone case and you can walk. But if you're slow to learn, you will discover things when you're married. And they may be deal breakers. And I don't want this to happen to us, because now we are educated about relationships way better. So I want you to look back also in the relationships you've had. And maybe I invite one or two people to tell me some of the heinous mistakes you ever committed, only to discover way later. Feel free. This is a free zone. I will only ask Ronnie to pause recording as we share personal things, and resume recording as I continue teaching. So you have all we've all made our mistakes of omission and commission, and by missing out on details. So meaning that it's upon you. It's an individual choice that you get to make, to know. Now I want you to look at something. Let's be for real. Looks can lie. Looks can lie. I know I also talk about how we look and how we present ourselves somewhere along the line. You will always hear me talking about the looks. But let's be honest, looks can lie. And I know some people like to trust fast until proven otherwise. But I want to invite you to something else called building trust. Don't rush in trusting. Uh, However nice they look, however cool they present themselves, don't have this easy, gullible spirit whereby you just trust. And I know personally, I in my self-awareness, I'm quite aware, cognizant that I'm quite gullible and I easily trust, and I give in too much before and I have been hit hard sometimes. The good times, guys have protected me, but you see, it's not their business to protect me. It's my business to protect myself. And so that gullibility can make someone really release trust very quickly. And of course, people who have been hurt now also seldom trust. They don't trust. So I want to invite the ones who've been hurt, the ones that are gullible, all of us to, when you're in a relationship, build trust. Don't give too much information when you have not built enough trust. On day one, you're spilling all the beans. You're talking about, including your great grandmother. You're talking about everyone, and you've given out too much that this person feels like it's day one, and I know sometimes there are those relationships that you hit on and you're like, you have a conversation for 30 hours, but I am inviting us to build to people who learn how to build trust. That you chill out, give out information in bits and pieces. Don't rush to just dish out information, so that you can also have time to regurgitate. Uh, and especially those who have confessed to anger issues and all that. It's a processing issue. Anger is a processing issue. So it's how you process information. So if you can take time, you will always find that you have understood things better, you have seen things from a different point of view, and it's a call also to meditation and to allow yourself to just develop trust. So, and you see, when trust is broken, trust is hard to build, but it is easy to break. Just as building a house is very easy, but you can just come in with a bulldozer and you bring down the house. We have seen several houses brought down in the tenure of Sonko. So that's how trust is. So allow the new person you are dating or in a relationship to win your trust. Allow them to win your trust. So that you don't give away. What I'm trying to say is, don't give away trust. Let it be like a compensation. Aha, you have come, I give you this trust. So use it like in monetary terms. You're selling something, so you let them win your trust. Encourage them to allow you to win their trust. So this is like having deliberate conversations. Yani mnazungumziana, mnaongeleshana, and become and if you can even share from the word go, you're a new person to me, you're a stranger to me, and I want to know you. So I am not going to give you trust us. Don't think I'm going, and this is the issue with the current society. The current society is too naive. And that's why you have seen sexuality has become in a spark. People are even having one night stands. You can imagine how do you even lie with someone you've just met? It's how naive things have become. It's how people are ignoring. They're not even taking themselves seriously anymore. No one is taking themselves seriously, because when you're dishing out, and remember, men and women give out their bodies for different mentalities altogether. A man may go on hit and run and all that kind of thing, and even give himself to someone, and yet not even love them because he's in for the sex, and out he goes. But a woman, on the other hand, if you see a woman giving her body to you, it's not just any. Of course, today women have learned the art of separation, which is a big thing. For a woman to separate, either major events have happened and they have grown careless, or they have grown carefree. Let me use both words so that I don't mess up anyone. And so people have become easy to give out themselves. So, but women will usually, in a natural sense, will give both them the heart and the body. So they're in wholesale, in fullness. So when a man comes in not in fullness and a woman has come in fullness, you see that's a recipe also for pain and suffering for someone there. So those are things you need to, and that's why details are important to be able to see who am I committing to, who am I giving myself to, so that you don't. And I think that those are some of the things our God may have looked at and said, you know, these people, it's me who has created them and they're quite different. Let me send them to the road of commitment first. They commit to one another so that someone is safeguarded. The woman who gives in the heart and the body can feel secure in this relationship. The man who can give the body and not the heart can also be committed through the vows that now you're in for real. So people learn better when not trusting. Can I say that again? People learn better when not trusting than when they trust. Remember, the room for assumption is trust. It is called benefit of doubt. So that's the room. And this is what I am going to take away. I am removing benefit of doubt. Don't give people benefit of doubt. When you're dating, when you're in a relationship, allow people to prove themselves, because you see, you're building foundation for a marriage. You're building foundation for the future. So you cannot shortcut digging deep. You cannot shortcut it. People have to put in efforts. If someone is not committing, if someone is not putting in, then they don't deserve you. And you, if you're not giving enough, you don't deserve the other person. So we need to make sure people work. Let's not have dating time that people are not working. Someone is on the receiving end, and then you end up in marriage and you've been on the receiving end. You see how much you work before the marriage means how much you will keep working after the marriage. Or so it's supposed to be. Let me not just say it's a blanket thing. People learn better when they're not trusting. I have said that. And so I am inviting us not to throw in trust. In trust, a lot is left to chance and benefit of doubt, okay? By the way, let me say this. Benefit of doubt is better used in marriage than in dating. So the person you can give benefit of doubt is your spouse, not someone who has not vowed to you. So it is better used there. But you find people use benefit of doubt pre-marriage than post-marriage. So people will take offense in so many little things in marriage, but never take offense of those things before marriage. And if they would have taken offense of those things before marriage, they would have not committed to some wrong relationships. But they gave a lot of benefit of doubt. And most of ladies in their thinking, I don't know, ladies tend to be Messiah-like. They want to save. They don't save the world, they save the man. They want to save the man. I am your hallowed, I am the Messiah sent from above to save you. Whatever your crimes are, I shall die for you. I will hang on that cross. The problem is when you're hanging on that cross, you don't say, Father, forgive them. You're feeling dead. Like, why did I do this to myself? So please, let's avoid being messianic, ladies. And so also men, stop getting into relationships that you're not committed to. If you're not committed to something, just state it clearly. I am not committed. And again, the doubt part is, do not leave anything to doubt, because there is no benefit of doubt pre-marriage. So tell someone clearly, excuse me, madam. Now I'm talking to men. Excuse me, madam. This is my goal. This is my long-term goal in this relationship. I am coming in for the long run. So we are going to build it slowly. I'm going to get to find out. So in case things are not working, let it be known early that this is why you came, so that no assumptions. And those who have listened to my the dating guys, the 5 dating men and the 5 dating ladies. You know about the ones that come through the subway. They will never say their issue, but they are always there, but they are not saying their issue. That is not a very safe place to be, because if you find a very serious lady, some ladies just like company. They can have you as good company and then marry someone else, then you die. So each dating person has their vested interest, and I want you to underline that. Each dating person has their vested interest. They want something from the relationship. So it is in your business to know what this person, other person wants. Even if it is just a plain friendship, get to know what that person wants. If you don't know what they want, you are the one who's going to lose. These wants can blind an undiscerning person. Let me just come again. This wants can blind an undiscerning person, meaning that if you do not use discernment and you're not keen to details, the desires you have may blind you. And that's why people will say the love is blind. They will blind you. And so you will, because, and I want to quote you again, you are undiscerning. And that's why things blind you. One needs to be keen to details. You need to see the selfish interest behind the smile. Hey, because sometimes I'm telling you, don't be careful. There's a grin and a smile. What's the difference? Anyone knows the difference between a grin and a smile? What's a grin and what's a smile? Anyone? Things at the very end, but also see yourself, what will happen should this not work? How will I react? This will help you in case you discover something and you need to leave. You will have prepared yourself. And then thirdly, also have a neutral ground. Neutral ground is always the place of learning. Neutral ground is the place of learning. So let the 3 dimensions always interact with one another as you relate with people. Give them time to, I want you to also think of, they have a choice and they can exercise it. So do you. If they choose to be hasty, what can you do? Sometimes you just have to, okay, if they judge me, it's fine. So here, in conclusion, I want to invite you to think about, in order to read between the lines, you will need to think of patience. And patience is a virtue. And sometimes patience is what reveals things. If you're patient enough, things you have omitted will come to. People are not able to fake for a very long time. So if you're honest, you on yourself, I want you to just be honest by yourself. But in case the other person is not honest, give it time. Patience is a key thing here. So again, patience will help you learn a lot, and also patience will bring out the truth at the long run. So if you are able to think things straight like that, you will find dating very interesting. And there's a fun part to dating that us married guys will never really enjoy any. That's over, that's done, and it's dead. But you guys who are dating, there's a fun part to dating whereby you get to meet various kind of people. You get to hear different stories, on not just on a professional level of things, but on an easy lovey-dovey kind of way. And it's a nice place. So enjoy it. Enjoy those moments when you're having those coffee dates and you're just getting to listen to people, getting to learn. You have had men and women. By the way, you can go and read that book. Men are from Mars and women are from Venus. It's quite a book. It's quite a book. And very interesting for that matter. So getting to know how people think, different men, how they think, different women, how they think, and you can do all that while you're dating. But then when you get into marriage, it's done, meaning that you have perfected the art and you have gotten the one and you have gone into commitment, lifetime commitment, and then that door is shut. So while you're here, keep enjoying, keep having fun. Now I open up myself to questions. You can ask your questions.
I have a question. You've spoken of, rather you've talked about doubt.
I didn't get you.
So you've talked about trying to accommodate the other person when you're learning them, right? And maybe I have been taking that in the past as giving that person a bit of the doubt. How
Good.
do you that? Yes.
How do
we differentiate that or define what is understanding the person and trying to accommodate them and still not giving them the benefit of the doubt?
Yes, that's a beautiful question. You have been listening keenly. Now, accommodating the person is being able to listen to them, being able to meditate upon what they have said. That's accommodating the person. But you cannot, benefit of doubt is something you did not understand and you have just allowed it to pass. Now that's when you're offering benefit of doubt. But I am negating that. I am saying don't give that. So if you don't understand anything, I want you to seek clarification. Seek to understand. So don't allow things to pass and you're like, okay, that's okay. I think I had Coach Ronnie saying that he used to get okay, and he didn't know what okay means. So don't okay. Don't okay it. Did you get it, Maureen?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. I think even after you tie the knot, you should continue dating each other to keep the fire in the relationship.
True.
It's right. Beautiful. Yes. And more, let me say this to men, because the person who hangs the boots easily is the man. A man, when he gets it, after nailing and after going through the process, you see the man has been involved a lot, kwenda kulipa mahari, wedding planning, money, and all that kind of things. So they tend to trophialize the person, the woman, and says, I have won, I'm a man, I'm the king of the jungle, and he goes to rest, and the woman works forever after. So men, let's not hang our dating boots. It's time also to keep working at it, and it's fun and interesting when you're still pursuing your woman. And women, I know, women love to be pursued. It's a forever fantasy. And if there's a woman who doesn't love being pursued here, just exception on me. So women love being pursued, and so that is so right, Kate. Yes, thank you. Hi, Mary.
Bye. Hi, how are you?
Very well.
Okay, I've heard you sing. Okay, I'm sorry, I was in another meeting, so I have not heard everything clearly in the skiza recording, but nimesikia ukisema story ya okay, we shouldn't trust the okays. Something of that sort.
I was really trying to say that don't okay things you don't understand.
All right, and if you understand, and you okay because you don't want to talk much about it, is it wrong?
Now that's also dangerous when you don't want to talk much about it, meaning that you may be okay with it, but the other person may not be okay with it. You're okay with it, but the other person.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
And what about times that you feel that you don't want to talk and you want just to be cooked up at home? Is that also a red flag?
Yes, it is, because in the preliminaries, pre-marriage, you want to have conversations, and meaningful conversations for that matter. So if you're feeling like you're not comfortable with meaningful conversations, you want to ask, am I okay with this relationship or not? So if you're feeling that you're not okay with this relationship, or it's not time for you to continue the relationship, then it's time to clearly stipulate to the other person that, hey, I think I'm derailing this relationship. If I can take a break so that I can get to really fix up myself, and so that we can have meaningful conversations in the future, if God wills.
So there shouldn't be any time that you feel that you just want to be alone, not talking, no nothing.
Yes, you can be alone. Mary, it's okay to be alone, and it's okay. And this is also a personality. I kind of feel like you're also sending signals of your personality. And so sometimes we have introverts and extroverts, and introverts sometimes want to be by themselves. So, and these are things that you also need to learn from each other quickly. So that you learn, oh, this person I'm dating is an introvert. So an introvert sometimes will want to be alone. So that you don't keep pushing them, oh, talk, and they are not into talking. So
okay.
Yeah. So these are things that also the other person needs to learn about you if you are introverted kind of person. And also there are introverts who have waves. Today I'm introvert, tomorrow I'm not. Or this circumstance causes me to be introverted, this circumstance does not. And again, this is where details are important. You get to know the other person properly and how they behave and how they work, so that you can know today we will have meaningful conversations or not. These are very important things.
All right.
Mtu mwingine tukielekea kufunga.